Hello, and welcome back to the Spoiler Cast, the show where we talk about movies and we don't care about spoiling them. My name is Tobias, and with me, as always, is my sister and trusted co-host, Rebecca.
Hello.
Hello. And today, we're not talking about a completely new movie. It came out late last year. It's a movie that's right up our alley, but for some reason, we didn't cover it. And I don't know if we were doing something else, maybe. I'm not sure. But
I don't remember.
we didn't really have anything interesting coming out in theaters this week, so we thought, why not talk about Heretic?
Yes.
Oh, ooh, the A24 horror thriller movie.
Yeah.
I mean, we have a history with A24. Not that that's very special anymore, but we do. So this was a movie we always would have discussed in the future probably, but yeah, we chose to do it now. Of course, sorry. Heretic, written and directed by Scott Beck and Brian Woods, starring Hugh Grant, Sophie Thatcher, and Chloe East. Two young Mormon... What are they called?
Former Mormon
they're
sisters?
No,
I think.
they're Mormon in the movie.
Oh yeah, but you said the actors.
Yeah, well, I was going into the plot blurb.
Right. Sounded, because the thing is, both of them are former Mormons, so.
I know, and we'll discuss that later.
That's why it sounded like you were going.
Yeah,
to that.
well, they're missionaries. That's what I'm trying to find. Two Mormon missionaries. Yeah, go to talk to this older gentleman about the Lord and Savior Jesus Christ and the Church of Latter-day Saints, only to be drawn into a game of religious dogmatism with hilarious consequences.
Well,
yeah. So first of all, Scott Beck and Brian Woods, they said that they had been. Just want to quickly get into that because I didn't recognize their names. Had they done anything? They've written stuff before. They haven't. Yeah. They've written some stuff. Ooh, okay. No, wait. They were. No, they wrote, or at least one of them. I hate that you can't look them up both since they're obviously a writing duo. But I'm guessing they have the same credits. Scott Beck has written A Quiet Place, very, very good movie. Mm-hmm. He didn't write A Quiet Place Part 2, but it's based on characters created by. And then he wrote the sci-fi action movie 65. Did you ever watch that with Adam Driver?
No, I didn't.
Where he travels to another world, but it's actually back in time to the dinosaur age.
So far, Brian Woods is the same.
Okay. And then, I guess then they both wrote the screenplay for The Boogeyman, which came out in 2023. Which I thought was a remake of the 2005 horror movie, The Boogeyman, which was produced by Sam Raimi. I don't know if it is, but I also know that I just dismissed it because of that, but I've actually heard it's kind of a good movie, so maybe that's something we'll check out in the future. Either way, this is like they've directed other things, okay. Oh, they directed 65, okay. But
and Haunt, which is an earlier movie.
I've never seen that one though.
No, I don't know which that is, but
and then some TV, but mostly shorts. This is their obviously, I guess, other than 65, that was a flop. This is their big breakthrough.
Yeah.
And because they spent 10 years writing it because of meticulous research, which I also want to get into a little bit later. But whatever. Let's just get into the discussion, really, I think.
Yes, to the plot, I suppose.
Well, yeah, that's the plot, really. They come there, they are sort of locked in, forced to enter his little game of belief or disbelief. What is belief? What does it mean to be faithful? what is religion?
Doesn't he pose the question, what is the one true religion as well?
Yeah.
Or is that's what he's been trying to find out?
Yeah, he's been doing research, realizing that the further back you go, all religions more or less share the same stories, which is true.
Yeah, which is true, yes.
And he says he's found the one true religion. We won't say anything more now, because we don't want to spoil too much.
We'll leave it at that.
Yeah. But I'm going to ask you then, what did you think of Heretic?
I thought it was pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
It's a movie that it's one of those movies that will open up for discussions, in my opinion. I don't know if it's a movie you sit down just to watch on a Friday night.
No, it's not really. It's not a hangout movie.
Yeah, no, it's a little bit too deep for that. A little bit too
contemplative. I like that word.
Yes. Yeah. But I did enjoy it. I like those kinds of subjects, though. I think it's interesting to discuss faith and religion. Even though I'm not religious at all, I don't really believe in anything, I still find it interesting.
Yeah.
It was pretty good. The more I looked up what other people thought about it, I watched a former Mormon YouTuber talk about it.
I was trying to... I saw it quite recently, so I didn't have too much time to do research, but I wanted to find if there was anything like that. Okay.
I didn't finish her video
because it's quite former long. Mormon. I would like...
Yes, a former Mormon.
I would like to see a current Mormon.
She did mention a few things that the Mormon Church put out about it, so like I can tell you that, but it was interesting to see it from a Mormon perspective in general, because she compared it to what it was when she was on mission, her mission.
Yeah.
But it was an interesting movie. It is an interesting movie.
Yes.
And I did like it. It's above average. If I give you a simple score like that.
Yes.
What did you think of it?
I also liked it quite a bit. I had some problems with it.
Sure.
Not a lot of technical problems. I think technically it's very, very well made.
Yes.
Mainly, my main problem is really a nitpick. It's actually it's actually one we have discussed on here before, and that is it's really only briefly mentioned. It doesn't really matter, but since the movie, the character Hugh Grant's character, Mr. Reed, has done so much. He's done decades of research, and Scott Beck and Ryan Wood said they spent 10 years writing it because of all the religious research they made. I don't know why they say Jesus was born on December 25th.
Right.
Because he wasn't.
I didn't even pick up on that.
That annoyed me so much, because we did.
I don't think I heard it.
We didn't do extensive research, but we did enough research on the Patreon episode.
Oh, yeah.
Patreon.com/DomeMagazine. To figure out that he's born... They're not sure. It's either like June or September for some reason.
Yeah, it's like towards the end. It's middle towards the end of summer or something like that.
Yeah, and why we land on 25th is...
it has to do with the winter solstice and stuff.
Have to do winter solstice to fit the pagan religions that Christianity was trying to take over, so to speak.
Yeah.
But there's also some date in Christianity as well that fit better. I don't remember exactly, but it was just
something else did happen there, but it wasn't Jesus' birth, and they just went, fuck it, we'll make it Jesus' birth.
I know, but it was so annoying that someone like me picked that up. I don't even know shit about religion. I was like, what do you mean?
Did he say that? I didn't realize.
What do you mean prophets that were all born on December 25th? That's not even like not even
right
when he's showing off the wall of pictures.
All the comparisons or the similarities, I suppose.
And I mean that's such a small detail. That's not even a certain date within Christianity, because in Sweden we celebrate the birth of Christ on December 24th.
Because he was born on the night.
Okay.
Because there were stars in the sky and shit.
Yeah, sure. But I'm just saying, like,
and even time zones.
Even if you interpret what the word in the Bible says, it's either 24 or 25.
Yeah.
Why would he not have like
now?
Or could it be then? We're already getting way
I know
thrown off. But
I have a defense. But yes,
could it be that his religious research is that he's researched the religions and not done, what do you want to call it, meta research and researched
the validity of the religions?
Yeah, exactly.
I think that's the case.
Okay.
And I do think that other religions have significant dates on the 25th, because other religions based more of their things on the solstices and stuff. So I believe he is technically not incorrect in his statement.
Sure.
It's just I understand what you mean. It sounds wrong when you know that that's not it. But if you look at Christianity and Mormonism, is that how you say it?
Yeah, Mormonism.
today.
More like moronism.
That is an important date for them. That's
Okay.
what they're gonna go off. So
Sure.
yeah.
Sure. Other than
Going
that,
back then.
yeah. Other than that, though, didn't really have a problem with it. Maybe, but that's one of those where it wasn't what I thought it was going to be. That's not really the fault of the movie. But I was a little underwhelmed in the third act.
I might agree with that. I expected, I don't know, something. I want to say like more A24. something darker, maybe almost. Because I feel like that's what or like more intricate than what
more
you finally get
complex.
to. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're used to A24 having like these deep, dark discussions towards the end, and like you need to like look into yourself to consider if what is life really, basically.
Yeah.
And this one kind of
What's that?
didn't do that.
Do you understand life? No, I'm not sure that's the right one. Tommy Wiseau says it in The Room. It doesn't matter. Sorry.
This one kind of just meh
Yeah, I gotta say, as
a
someone
bit to the end.
who considers himself an agnostic, this movie did not like. It was not a revelation for me. It was like, yeah, I know. It was in that way. It was kind of underwhelming in the end. I guess maybe that's a bit of a spoiler, but that's not really. It's not really a plot spoiler.
No, it's not a spoiler because the ending can be interpreted based on what you believe.
Oh yeah. That's something
Which
I did
is a
see.
really good ending in that sense.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's obviously very, yeah. Well, you said it. Yeah, it's very, very, very subjective.
Yeah.
To the point where they're basically giving you two different endings, if you want to see it that way.
Exactly.
And that was a little. I don't want to say disappointing, but a little underwhelming.
A little bit, but I understand why they did it.
I understand why they did it. I also think. Well, jeez, I don't know how much more. Let's leave this part for now, so we don't have to go into spoilers just yet, because we've only been doing
accidentally
this for
start spoiling things.
12 minutes. Yeah. I want to talk more about the performances, because there's really only three main performances. Everyone else is
tiny one, but everyone else is nothing.
Doesn't. Yeah. Topher Grace.
Yes.
Okay.
I was like, is that him?
Yeah, it is him, but he's literally only in like 2 scenes. He has like 4 lines, so
yeah,
I still consider that like he's basically an extra. But I think
he is an extra. I love that they had him.
He probably knows them or something. That's why I say I'll be in your movie for fun, because that feels like he seems to be in that state of his career, which I love for him. That he's just, I'll do whatever I want. I have enough money. I have that 70s show money. I'm fine. I'll just do whatever I want. Anyway. What were the names? Sophie Thatcher and
Chloe East.
Chloe East. First of all, Sophie Thatcher, extremely. She looks like looks so much like Anya Taylor-Joy.
There is a very stark resemblance.
Yeah.
In that role, though, in that styling,
especially in this,
because
the way she did because even on IMDb, her like profile picture, she has bangs, and it looks just like Anya Taylor-Joy.
They could play siblings.
Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah. They probably should in some movie.
Oh my God, her full name is Sophie Bathsheba Thatcher.
Bathsheba!
Yeah, no, I don't like that name.
That's the witch from The Conjuring.
Yes. Oh, she's in Yellow Jackets. Kind of want to watch that one.
Yeah, I saw the first episode. I mean, I'm not. It's probably a great show. It wasn't for me though, but I don't like TV shows. So.
No.
No. Yeah. Her. I liked that it was kind of a switcheroo on who the main girl is, if you will, because the way they set them up. In the beginning, the beginning is we really have very little time to get to know them as characters before the plot starts. I think that's 15 minutes. But what little we get is I mean, and from the from the perspective of a movie that's not obvious like religious propaganda, because that's the one thing this isn't. This is not a
No.
this is not a religious. You know what I mean? This is not like a Pure Flix movie. One of those.
Yeah, and I mean the Mormon Church didn't like it, so
Yeah, sure. But so the main character in a regular movie, so to speak, is usually then the one that is kind of questioning their faith.
yes,
And that, I mean, through their little discussion about Magnum condoms and porn, you get the sense, and like her background, which they go into a little more later, you get the sense that she is the one that is, or
you know what, you
more
get it.
Obviously questioning her faith.
Yes,
Than
but there are
Chloe
other
East's
things that
character.
tell us that. I think that's the opening scene is it's kind of good actually, because it immediately tell us who's who in this situation between the two girls. Sophie Thatcher's character, Sister Barnes, is dressed in all black.
Yeah.
Has all of her hair up except for her bangs. And she is not the one speaking mainly.
No.
It's Sister Paxton, Chloe East, who is in light colors, has her hair halfway down, and she talks a lot, nervously.
Yeah.
Almost. So it's like they give us kind of like, she obviously wants to be the one talking, because that's the thing about Mormons, they want to talk to people.
I know.
They want to convince you, sort of.
I've actually had, because we have a church near where I live, a Mormon church. So I've seen them around. I've actually had last year, I think, a pretty good conversation with them, even though I was kind of accosted on the street. It was actually quite fun to talk to them.
Well, yeah.
And
normally they're quite fine,
and
unless you join them, that they start getting kind of weird.
yeah, and it was because I didn't challenge them, because I'm like, even though I'm not, like I said, I'm not a religion. I do not like religion. Faith is another thing. I don't believe in anything, but I'm open to, other things, which I think is fair, since I really hope there are like aliens and ghosts and stuff, but then I kind of have to believe in a god as well. Yeah, because as a supernatural being. We'll get more into that later. We need to,
Yes.
But I also wouldn't like start like, okay, so you believe there's some guy up in the sky. I wouldn't do that. That's just
So you believe some dude walked on water and turned water into wine?
Yeah, no,
Bullshit.
I wouldn't do that. It's not very constructive.
No,
so
exactly.
Instead, I explained my I said I think I'm an agnostic, and they're like, oh, okay. I would like to believe in something. My favorite quote of all time, Mulder, Fox Mulder. I want to believe.
Yes.
Doesn't mean you do believe.
But until
But
you
you
have
really
any kind of
want to.
proof, you can't really believe.
Exactly. That's kind of what I said. And they were super open. That yeah, of course you can't just blindly believe something. And then I was like, oh, geez, okay, then Mr. Mormon, but
Isn't
whatever.
that what you guys do?
Yeah. But anyway, it was fun to talk that way, and they weren't as pushy as I thought they would be.
Yes.
They explained like how they had gone from basically agnostic to religious believers. Yeah, and it's like, oh, it's interesting, and that there's like, and they're very good like parables of that in the Book of Mormon or in the Bible or whatever.
Sure. Yeah.
So it's fun. It's actually kind of fun to talk about. To talk about with someone who does believe, not to talk to someone who has the same belief as you. That's not fun.
Yeah, you usually get stuck then because whatever.
Yeah.
But I think they showed off who's who quite clearly in that first scene, and we do. I mean, Sister Barnes do open up more as they walk up and down those stairs.
Yeah,
which is a little bit funny. But the roles stick when we get into the house. She's still kind of calmer and quieter, even though she does talk, obviously.
Yeah.
I think she's the first one who asks, is there a woman there? We can't walk inside unless there is a woman present.
Barnes.
Yes. I think she's the one who says that.
I think so, yeah.
Because Sister Paxton is kind of eager to like, yes, I want to talk about the Book of Mormon and I want to tell you about our church.
Yeah.
It's almost like she forgets the safety rules.
Yeah.
But yeah, that switches a little bit then.
Yeah, but I also think it's interesting that the one we immediately peg as the like non-believer / questioning of the two,
Sister Barnes
is Sister Barnes, but because she's kind of quiet, she doesn't really go into the whole the conversation. She's the one listening while
Yes.
Paxton is the one
Sister Paxton
talking. She's holding the sermon. But you can also, and that's based more on what happens later in the movie. You can almost say that in her own way, Paxton is questioning her faith as well, but she wants so desperately to believe that she's kind of convincing herself.
Mm-hmm.
If I just keep talking about it, I'll convince myself, basically.
Yeah.
And if I can convince someone else, that means I'm right.
Exactly.
Which I also find very interesting, because that's the way I see a lot of religious people. It's like,
yes,
I don't have to question my faith as long as other people agree with me.
Yeah.
As the second my system of belief is questioned, or whatever it's called. No, not faltering, but comes into question. It does crumble immediately, and my faith was never really that strong.
Exactly.
That's kind of, and I thought that's
something the Mormon YouTuber talked about a little bit, that most Mormons these days are born into it and kind of told that this is what you're supposed to believe. So it isn't until they start doing their mission that they start questioning it, because they meet a lot of other people who they are now trying to convince instead.
Yeah.
And if you're not convinced yourself, it's hard to convince others.
Yeah. So maybe like these missions almost having like a negative effect on the church, which it probably didn't.
I don't think so. In
not in the
total numbers,
they start having a negative effect more than they had before. You know what I mean?
Isn't it the same for like the Amish kids? That's when they get to do their Rumspringa. That's when they start questioning their lives.
I was gonna bring that up.
Or the life choices.
But that's I think that's done better, because the Rumspringa, first of all, Amish. I mean, they are religious, but
sure, but
Amish is a way of life. They are Christian. Yes. I think they're not Amish. Amish is
they're one kind of Christian. Yes, I don't remember which one.
The difference between going on a Mormon mission, or whatever it's called, and going on Amish Rumspringa is that the Mormon mission is to bring more believers back. It's honestly to solidify your faith, and it might have the adverse effect nowadays on some people. While the Rumspringa is once again, haven't done that much research, but it's actually like you've lived the Amish lifestyle all your life up until they're 18 or something like that, I think.
Something like that.
17, 18. We want to show you how the rest of them live, and you get to choose yourself if you think the Amish way of life is better or worse. Way. Yeah, exactly.
However, if you choose if you don't choose the Amish life in the end, you will lose all of this.
Yeah.
And they just list your entire life, basically, and your family and your friends and all that shit.
They definitely have an incentive to come back, because they will lose their family. They're more or less shunned.
They are shunned.
Oh, they are shunned. Yeah, sure, okay.
Depending on the community, but most communities would be like, no, you're not allowed back at all.
So of course, the deck is stacked in the favor of the house, but they still give you a choice.
Yeah, you're allowed
more of a choice than other doctrines, as Reed says.
Yes,
does.
right, doctrines.
So I do like that, and it's also fun to see. There's like documentaries. I mean, there's a whole TV show about it, about Rumspringa people. How they some of them
I saw the MTV version.
Yeah.
I don't remember what it's called. But it's like Sweet 16, but Rumspringa style.
Basically, yeah. It's awesome.
I love that one.
It's awesome. Yeah. Anyway, I think the characters are very well written in that way.
Yes.
And I think they both, like we said, the switch proves that they're both more complex than you first think. Because at first you think, she's she was Paxton was the simpler character. Turns out she isn't. Which is, I mean, indicative of the whole movie, that the whole there's there's the two extremes. There's either belief or disbelief, but honestly, the movie can land somewhere in the middle. Not to spoil too much again. But anyway, and that's also, I think, the weakness of the movie. But once again, we'll get to that in the end.
Yes, we'll get to that.
Could start going into spoilers, but I just want to talk about Hugh Grant since we're talking about performances. Because he is definitely in the third act of his career, so to speak, found his niche as kind of a bad guy.
Yeah, a little bit.
He had his fall from grace like almost 20 years ago now. Because before, when he was caught cheating on his wife with a hooker or whatever it was.
Yeah.
And you know his kind of not facade. What do you call it? His
reputation.
His reputation is kind of like, oh shucks, I'm the nice guy, you know, Notting Hill guy.
Oh yeah.
He kind of came into question.
He is the boy next door, sort of.
Yeah.
A little bit older, but you know, he used to be the boy next door.
Yeah, and for a while it felt like he almost disappeared a little bit. Maybe, but usually it turns out they didn't. You know.
No, if you look at
it, no, he kept working all. Yeah,
he didn't really disappear. He had like 1 year here and there that he didn't do anything specific.
Yeah, but when he kind of came back, in a big way, I would say. Well, maybe not in a big way, but for me it was Cloud Atlas, because I was like, oh shit, it's the first time I've seen him since like Bridget Jones 2 or whatever.
All right.
Although he has a very small role in that, but it was like, that's Hugh Grant, and he was cast a little bit against type because he was the bad guy or one of the bad guys in Cloud Atlas.
Yeah.
And then after that, his biggest roles have been bad guys. Whereas before, they were the boy next door, or not bad guy, but bad boy in Bridget Jones movies.
Sure, he's a bit of a bad boy, but he's still like, you know, the love interest of some sort.
Yeah, so Cloud Atlas, he was the bad guy. Paddington 2, obviously the bad guy.
Yes.
The Gentleman, he was the bad guy.
Right.
I didn't watch The Undoing, the TV show, but I think him and his wife are like both the bad guy in that, if I don't misremember. And then, of course, Dungeons and Dragons. Spoilers, turns out he was the bad guy.
Yeah.
There's a lot, and then this, where he's the super bad guy.
Yeah.
But I think he seems to have a lot of fun with it because he's really good in the role. I know some people even said like, oh, the Academy like should have didn't take him into consideration, but they should have. I don't think he's that good, though.
No.
His character is a little one note.
Yes. Which is correct, though, I think. Because when you talk to someone who's trying to convince someone else about something, they usually end up being kind of one note.
Yeah.
They usually just, instead of, you know, coming with good arguments and being able to actually discuss things, they're just going like, yeah, but explain, and just throw the same facts at you over and over.
Yeah.
I mean, it seems he didn't want to take the role, though, at first. Because according to trivia here, it took around 4 months with Hugh Grant emailing the directors back and forth with questions about his character before he was, like, convinced.
I think that's more
take on the role.
He wanted... I read that, too, but I read it more like he wanted to be... Because that's what actors do, you know. He can't
wanted to be faithful to the role.
Yeah, because if he is going to be able to embody this kind of person, he can't look at him as like, oh, he's a bad guy, because
no, he needs to.
Reed doesn't think he's a bad. He needs to understand him to make sure that that what they have written for him is watertight or airtight, so to speak. Yeah. I think it's more like that.
And they also really wanted him, so I mean, they obviously spent the time he needed to understand the character.
Yeah. I think they even mentioned that it was his performance as Cloud Atlas that, like, made them want to put him in the movie, which makes sense if this took 10 years to write, so...
Apparently he said in an interview, I'm getting bored of playing obvious roles and being typecast, and when Scott Beck and Brian Wood saw that interview, while they were writing the character, they were like, ooh, if we can may use him, maybe.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think it's really good in it, but I would have liked to see, yeah, like I said, it doesn't really make sense with the character, but it would have been fun to see him like lose his composure at some point.
A little bit, yes.
Or
get annoyed
trip
at
up.
them or something.
Yeah, something. But his character doesn't really call for it, so
No.
it's more the writing than the performance. The character's a little one note.
Yes. I
However,
think that's also something because we kind of assume that will happen with the bad guy, that he does slip up somehow, and that's how our hero wins.
yeah,
Usually,
yeah.
which doesn't really happen here, so it's a little bit, I don't know, almost anticlimactic.
Yeah. So, from here on in, there's going to be
Yes.
spoilers. So if you don't want to know before you watch the movie what the one true religion is, turn it off now. Watch the movie. Because I say that I'd recommend the movie.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Not like a glowing recommendation, but I recommend it. It was good.
Yeah.
So check it out, then come back, of course, and we can discuss if his one true religion theory is correct or not.
Yes, because there's not much else to say about the actual movie, I'd say.
No.
It is more the topic of the movie.
Yes, this is something that it's a water cooler movie. You can discuss it with your friends. Although you're not supposed to discuss religion or politics with your friends, but
Friends, I'd say, is fine. Colleagues is worse.
okay. So anyway,
you can get real dicey with colleagues.
yeah. However, from here on out, spoilers.
I want to steal your joke.
You have been warned. Sure. Spoilers.
So when what's her name?
We're gonna say
when
now.
so when Sister Barnes dies in the end.
You gotta work on that one. You should have said, now, when Sister Barnes get murdered in the end.
To be fair, she dies like twice, but still.
Yeah.
It's a bit weird. That is one of my like nitpicks on it. Like, wait, how? I thought she's dead.
Yeah. Yeah, well.
But yes.
It was God. Or
I mean,
was
it's
it?
to know. She could have been
or
passed
did she
out or
just
something.
fake her death? Although
he faked it.
He checked her pulse, right?
I mean, he says he does.
Yeah.
Although, but he also thought that her pregnancy.
Maybe because I have a couple of double chins, but I've never, even when I was thinner, I've never been able to feel my own pulse.
I don't even feel it on my wrist. No. I've never felt my own pulse. I don't know.
When I do this, you know where I feel it? I feel it in my fingertips from, if I like do this, I can feel it.
Yeah.
But anyway, so I've never really understood it, but I know you can do it that way. Anyway.
Sure. But also, I mean, he thought that she was an AI, basically, or an NPC,
yeah.
as he said, because of her birth control implant.
Is that a thing? I don't know too much about birth control. You can put it in your arm?
Yeah. No, you can have it in your arm.
Ooh, why?
It's a little like, thing that lets out.
Like put it in. I mean, not just put it in your body like you do with other contraceptives. You literally implant it.
Yeah, p-stav in Swedish.
Oh, I thought that went up the...
No, that's another thing. That's the other one, whatever that's called. Spiral, yes.
Oh, yeah.
That one goes up inside you that way.
Yeah.
Unless I'm confusing them, because I've never had either, to be honest. But I think there is one where you can put it in your arm, really.
And it releases,
I don't know how common that is in Sweden, though.
Yeah, because it's invasive surgery.
However, you have it for a few years.
And then you have to open it up and take it out?
You might have to change it out. I don't remember if it's like 10 years. But it's a long time.
Yeah,
it's like
but
10
still,
years or something.
That means you have to cut yourself open to get it out.
Well, if you don't... Yeah,
no, of course you don't do it yourself.
Do a lot of things, so...
Yeah, but you shouldn't do surgery
on yourself. We have to
visit
doctors often, and we do surgery more than you think, so... Invasive procedures more than you think.
Wow.
From like 18.
Yeah, but you don't... There's no cutting involved.
Not normally.
No, exactly. That's not like a routine thing. Like, oh yeah, we'll just implant things in your arms.
No, but putting things up certain places is kind of invasive too.
Yeah. Because
however,
the nature of you is internal, the nature of man is external. That's just nature. Exactly. Sorry. Anyway.
But yes, that is a common contraceptive, especially in America, as far as I know.
Okay. So,
I found it a bit strange that she had a short-sleeved shirt though, so that could show. I thought she would hide it better.
Skirt. It was in her arm.
Shirt.
Oh, shirt.
Shirt.
It was the skirt. I was like, what are you talking about? Okay.
Short-sleeved shirt was a lot of
Yeah.
Which I found a bit weird, but obviously it's for the plot and you needed it.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, even, like, Sister Paxton even mentions, like, oh, but she doesn't really want to talk about it, probably, because it's kind of frowned upon in our religion.
That too. Like, that's where I wish we had more... the movie was already pretty long, but I wish we had more time to get to know the characters. Like,
like, what was her reasoning for having birth control?
Exactly. Because, call it judgmental, if you will, having birth control, especially one that's that intricate, means that you either have or plan to have a lot of sex, not for reproduction.
Well, to be fair, no,
not a lot
that's
of
not
sex,
true.
but I mean, have sex.
That is not true.
Okay.
You can actually use birth control to help control your periods and cramps.
Huh, okay.
Because it's hormonal. That's all it is. It inserts extra hormones.
Oh, sure,
into
yeah.
you.
That, yeah.
And your period and the cramps you get are also hormonal, and they affect you differently. So some people who have very painful periods can have birth control to balance out the hormones to help you deal with it easier.
Okay.
So it could be that. It doesn't have to do with actually having sex.
No. But
because, I mean, you can start young girls on birth control just because they have hormonal imbalances, basically.
Okay, sure. But since they don't...
we kind of need to know if that's the reason or not.
Since we are given no information, we of course assume that she's taking contraceptives to avoid, babies.
Pregnancy.
Yeah. That's immediately where your mind goes.
Yeah. I, for some reason, assumed that something happened to her when she was younger, and now she got it because she's scared it might happen again if someone does something to her.
When I first saw the scar,
an assault of some sort.
Because they point out her scar earlier in the movie. She's
fidgeting with the arm.
Yeah,
with the sleeve. Yeah.
I thought that was going to be connected, but then they say her dad died from Lou Gehrig's. But still, I thought it was going to be connected to some traumatic event. Yeah. But it's never brought up. And then it's just like, she didn't mention it because, the church would shame her for it. But, like, then that's just let go. It's like, oh, whatever. And
what is Lou Gehrig's disease?
I don't know exactly.
Oh, it's like ALS, basically.
Oh, okay, yeah. But, like, and him using that, like she said, like, was this planned? His whole, like, bringing up the whole simulation theory. Is that just another example of him, like, why can't you believe simulation theory? There are just enough proof of that as it is of God existing, but that doesn't go anywhere.
No, I know.
So why even bring that up then?
That one is a little bit out of left pocket. I don't quite understand why they decided to add that.
Yeah.
Because it felt like it was something...
I thought that was the way the movie was going. It was like, whoa, is the movie going to be about simulation theory? That's kind of cool. It's like, oh, no. It's just another example. It says, then what's the point of that? Well, they had several examples.
Yeah. Because it's something that he could not have known about her until she entered his house. So that one was not something he was planning on, it seemed.
Yeah, exactly.
That's something he just added in the end.
And she does bring up that, and he was kind of started winging it. But that's a pretty big wing. Just throw out simulation theory there.
Maybe not have that plan. Ooh, I can test out theory as well. Jackpot.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, that one is a bit strange.
Yeah. Ultimately, though, in the end, we find out what he thinks is the one true religion, and it is control.
Yes. Which kind? I mean, yes, in a way.
Yes.
Because the thing that all religions do is to control people.
Tell you what to do.
Yeah. So I mean, isn't every religion controlled? That sense, they're all the one true religion then, because they're all controlling you.
Yeah, but the only one that doesn't
pretend to be something else.
Exactly, is to just control people.
Yeah.
Maybe that's also why he brought up simulation theory, since there's a connection to the Matrix there, where obviously humans are being put in a simulation to be controlled by the robots. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I found it interesting because I did see a video, and I thought a little bit about it myself, that because his whole point, the point he's trying to make throughout the movie is that he has been controlling them the whole way.
Yeah.
That is his point.
I honestly thought that the movie was going, like, when I just saw the trailer, I thought, because the two doors, they're from the trailer.
Yeah, believe and disbelief.
Believe and disbelief. And if they chose belief, he would prove them wrong. If they chose disbelief, he would have let them go.
Yeah.
Turns out that's not true. Because when you look at the little model he has of his house and his basement,
they go
and all
down
that
to
stuff,
the
both doors come down
basements.
the same stairs.
Yeah.
So either way, they would have been fucked.
Yeah, because he has to control the narrative.
Yeah.
Because control is religion. Religion is control.
True. But that's cheating, in my opinion. That's not just control, that's cheating.
But
Control is
control.
cheating, yes.
There's no rules to control anyone.
No, I
Control
guess.
is by any means necessary.
Yeah.
That control is not good or bad. Control is what it is. How you gain control is different.
Yeah, but it seemed he wasn't entirely sure until he got those two down there and he proved with the prophet thingy that that's fake. It seemed he wasn't sure really, that he was still trying, testing his theories with them.
I don't know.
Maybe
because he had his disciples, his wives down there, who he'd probably controlled the same way to go down there. However,
yeah, I'm curious how he got all of those down there.
The same way he got her down there. And they,
true,
eventually through attrition, gave up and said, "Yeah, I'll stay here." Stockholm syndrome, whatever you call it.
Yeah, I guess.
But
however,
the video I saw, and I kind of thought about it myself, and I both agree and disagree with it, is that, like you said, he is kind of cheating, so to speak, because he's not controlling them, he is forcing them, and that's different.
Yeah.
But once again,
it is trying to say.
It is control by any means necessary. How you achieve control doesn't really matter if control is the end goal. Because the door, if it would have been, if control is the one true religion, then maybe not. Then it would have been the front door should still have been open, but they would have freely gone into the back room because he controlled them to.
Yeah, because part of religion is also, believing in it.
Yeah.
Accepting the control then, sort of.
Yeah. However, and they said that he is as disingenuous as any other religion in his talk about how control is the one true religion, because and I think that's where the movie's going as well, because in the end it's not really about belief or disbelief, it's about your own there is no objective truth.
No, it's what you believe.
Yeah, subjective truth. Yeah, exactly. It's what you believe. What you believe.
Yeah, it's up to you. It's individual. There is no one true religion because it's the one that fits you. It's the one you choose to believe in.
Mm. However,
whichever one brings you faith.
Yeah, but that also makes it sound like he actually thinks that control is a religion, that control is some sort of divine power. But I don't think that is what he's getting at. He is anti-theistic. He hates religion because of what it does. But he also wants to prove it by creating this mock religion. And also
I think he's just trying to point out that what every religion is just doing is controlling you.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Yeah.
He's not trying to
That's why he gets so giddy when she finally says control. He's like, "Oh, yes."
Yes, you understand. You are being controlled by your church.
Yeah.
Much like I have been controlling you all night.
Yeah. But since he's also because then you say, well, why don't you just shout it from the rooftops? Go out and, like religious people, try to convince others. But he also knows that, like, how many do you actually convert by just talking to them? What he does is he shows you that control is the one true religion. Unfortunately, that means then you're stuck there. But
yeah. It's also like he's just trying to get them to question their own faith, really. That's all he wants them to do. Because if he can, like, prove to them that your faith isn't what you believe, it's just what you've been told to believe, then you might as well believe me when I tell you to go into this cage and be my prophet.
Yeah. No. Yeah. But that's. He brings it up, like, from the moment you were born, all your choices have been made for you. If you were born into the religion, I mean, that's true. You don't. I mean,
sure, that is true.
And I mean, you could talk about, free will and how there is no true free will, even if you're not really in life in general. There is no free.
There's
will.
Always things you have to do that you have no choice.
Yeah, that, and like we have like genetic programming and blah 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 blah. But I think there's the disconnect in his theory of control being a religion. And also the fact that he is, like, scientifically trying to prove that religion is this tangible thing. It's control. It is that.
Sure.
But also...
But there's more to it.
There's more to it. Which the movie shows. But I also... in the end, also, if you listen to interviews, I quickly read some stuff that the directors and writers had said, is that what they don't want you to either, be religious or not be religious. What they don't want you to be, that you can be religious if you want to. You can be non-religious if you want to. It doesn't matter. What they don't, the only thing they don't want you to be is certain. Like, because there is no right or wrong.
No.
Like saying, oh, religion is the right way isn't the right way, but it's also not the wrong way, because if it's right for you, then it's right. And I mean, that's kind of where the ending leads to, the fact that she does escape, kind of as some people call it, through a deus ex machina. Her friend just comes to life again.
Yeah.
And she just finds, I don't know, she's finding things in the model, so she can get out through the window.
No, first of all, she finds, because she gets lost when she goes into that little halfway door.
Yeah.
She just starts running in circles somehow. But when she looks at the model, she finds it's a map, obviously, but he also has the controls to unlock the doors and the windows in there, which is what I think she finds. Okay,
but she jumps out of a window, and then the final shot is a callback to earlier in the movie when she said she wants to be reincarnated as a butterfly so she can follow around the people she loves, land on their finger, tip of their finger, so they know it's her.
Yeah.
And the last thing we see is a butterfly landing on her finger, not her tip of her finger. And in the next shot, we cut to her face seeing this. In the next shot, there's no butterfly there. And she looks out like, she looks up towards, heaven or whatever. Yeah. So was there a butterfly there? Wasn't there? We don't know. It's up to you. Like,
was that her belief?
Yeah. Do you believe that the butterfly was Barnes, or do you believe she was hallucinating? Do you actually believe she escaped, or is she just dreaming? Is this the white clouds? Is this the near-death experience? She was severely bleeding from that wound in her stomach.
Exactly.
I don't know. And that's where my disappointment came in. Not because the movie did it poorly. It did it very well, what it wanted to achieve. But I was expecting the movie to have more of a conclusive ending.
But that's the thing.
I know, but that's always the thing. If you want to do like a serious, complex discussion or movie about religion, it has to end with, well, I'm not sure.
But yeah,
and I'm also not saying that, well, no, you either have to say you don't believe or you do believe, because then you get the pure flicks movies that suck.
Yeah.
That are just then it's just propaganda. I didn't want that either. What I wanted it to do was to if you're instead of being propaganda and instead of being wishy-washy, boring in the middle, go for something fun. She gets down into the final part of the basement, and the fucking devil is there. Something, a big monster. Do something fun with it.
Sure.
It's like every other serious rumination on religion. It's I don't know. It's like
that's what I meant with.
I already knew that. everyone who has done their due diligence knows that you can't know, and that's boring.
That's what I meant when I said it didn't feel like an A24 movie towards the end.
Because you wanted Paimon to show up in the end.
Would have an actual demon, or would have a picture of God, or would have, something.
But then you would go from this movie getting a
it's got like a
71 metascore to a like 52. Because then be like, but then it devolves into schlocky horror sci-fi, and then it's like, yeah, but we've seen it's still
I want to say poignant, but I don't know if that's the right word.
Poignant,
and most of the movie,
and I see what they wanted to say, because like I said, no matter how much research you do, if you
no, that's not the word I was looking for.
if you stay objective, because like we said, religion is subjective. Also, completely dismissing religion is in a way subjective.
Yes.
If you stay 100% objective and you just do objective analysis of everything, you're gonna land in the middle.
Yeah.
So every movie that wants to say like objective and complex and grown up, adult, like dealing with it as in a real way, always ends up in the middle, and it's so boring.
It is a little bit boring.
It's okay if you're having an actual discussion, if you're doing an actual like review paper on it, but in a movie where you have
which is what the middle of this movie kind of is. You have the two sides kind of discussing it.
Yeah.
He's trying to convince them. They are trying to like kind of go, well, yes, that is what you found and what you believe, but we choose to believe this.
Yeah.
It is our choice, therefore you cannot control us. But yeah, the ending kind of falls flat a little bit then, because you just end up going, which is what you've been saying the entire movie. We know this now. We thought you would point us in a direction in the end.
Yeah.
But you don't really.
Yeah. And that's the one thing. It's like,
I both like it and dislike it.
Like I said, I think that is really the ending you have to the conclusion you have to come to.
Yeah.
But that's in the real world. In a movie, I would like it to be more fun than that.
Yes.
Especially since, not all movies have to be, forgo reality to be more fun. Like, I keep bringing it up, but it's because it's such a fucking good movie. Like, A Marriage Story shouldn't have a fun ending. It should have a realistic ending where, they don't hate each other, but they don't love each other anymore. Yeah. Have you seen it?
Yes, we've done an episode on it.
Oh, right. Sorry. Because
I hadn't seen it, so you were like, what the hell? You have to watch it.
Right. But in a movie like this, which is dealing with the supernatural or whatever you want to call it, you have the space to make it fun or make it interesting in the end.
I know what you're saying, and I agree to a certain degree. But I also understand why they chose not to.
Yes, and I do too. I'm just saying why I was disappointed.
I don't know if I was disappointed, really.
Not to the point not to the point where I disliked the movie, but like I was like, oh. But I still liked the movie. That's the thing.
I don't think I had that reaction though. I was more like, oh, okay, this is how you ended. I liked the fact that she ended the movie going, I am still strong in my belief. I know what I think. Is she though? I think so.
That's you interpreting it. When it's also a good thing, because you can interpret it that way.
You're supposed to interpret it in your way.
I know, but for me, that's not how...
This is going to sound weird. As a religious person, you would interpret it as a happy ending for her. She got out. She still believes God saved her.
True.
Which is something the Mormon girl I watched on YouTube said, that you go into these mission meeting, whatever, just blindly believing that God will keep me safe.
Yeah.
Because walking into the situation that they do is apparently not completely unnormal. I mean, that is an extreme one, but you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like an unsafe situation.
Having their faith questioned by people who don't believe. Yeah.
In an unsafe situation because you are walking into a stranger's home. Oftentimes.
Yeah, sure.
And they are told to just kind of... I mean, there are obvious, like, little safety things they can have. They have a phone with them. They can have pepper spray with them. They're always in pairs. You're not allowed to walk alone, which is why they are in pairs, partially. But in the end, you do walk into a stranger's home. And if, in this case, there is no woman present, I mean, even the women could be bad people as well, obviously. This is just more unsafe, because you assume a woman will have more sympathy with another woman. That's a weird assumption.
And in 99.99% of the times... If a woman is hurt, it's by a man. So
yes,
if another woman is present, there's less chance of that.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. But like you walk in with basically the shield of God, just hoping that will save you.
Yeah,
which is dumb.
Yeah, but that's
it's a proof of your faith in your religion, in your God.
But that's also then where I question. If they are truly, if the writers and directors are truly in the middle on this, because that means that they would have to write their characters, because the characters are questioning their faith. They are. Yes. I mean, in the end, she even brings up that the whole prayer experiment, where they conclusively proved that prayer does not help.
Yeah.
But she still thinks it's a nice way to show that you care about someone. But as a true believer, you should believe that prayer helps. That's the thing.
Should you?
Shouldn't you?
I don't know.
Why would you believe in a God but not think that he can hear you when you pray?
Because most, especially Christianity-based religions, don't think that God can solve all your problems. He can give you the tools to solve your problems, but he cannot solve them for you. So praying is more of a asking for guidance, asking for a push in the right direction, instead of asking someone to solve your issue. You don't pray to God to miraculously become healthy the next morning or wake up with thousands of dollars in your account. You pray to God for a sign to find the right job, or go to the doctors, or, I don't know, start eating healthy or something. You don't pray for a quick fix.
No.
So praying is more of a it's how do you say it? It's like asking for guidance. It's feeling heard, I guess, in a way. Feeling like someone is listening to your issues and might lend you a hand, sort of, spiritually, that is.
Yeah.
So what the prayer experiment proved is that, yes, you cannot have... God will not fix your issues with a prayer, but it feels nice, because it feels like someone believes in you, even if it's just you, basically.
Yeah.
It's voicing your own... It's putting a voice to your own, like, what your inner voice, really. It's telling yourself the things you want to hear, because God isn't telling you anything. It's you telling yourself that the things you need to hear.
But why?
But they want to point it. They want to make believe that it's someone else telling them that, because it helps.
It's
easier to take the advice from someone else than from yourself.
Yeah,
and
that's where I when I was more atheistic when I was younger, I was one of those, like, actually you believe in God. But I still kind of have that belief that, like, why externalize your ability to help yourself? Like,
because it's easier to believe.
God didn't. But what do you mean easier to believe? But have some fucking belief in yourself. Like, I need the help of God, and then you fix it and you say, "Oh, thank God." No,
This is gonna sound horrible.
You did it. You believe in yourself.
That is why religion often find the weakest people.
I know, Because they're
sounds
easier to
terrible.
control, like he mentions.
Yes, it's a bit of both. It is both of that. It's easier to control, but they're also the ones who need it the most usually.
But they don't need religion. They need someone to tell them, you can do this.
Yes.
And then, literally, instead of through prayer, give them a little push in the right direction.
Yeah. But to find that one person who can do that and it works for you is oftentimes very hard. It's hard to find someone who will push you in the right direction, who will help you on your way. It's easier to ask the divine for that sign and then just fix it yourself without realizing that you are doing it for yourself, without having to like reflect on the fact that you are doing it to yourself, for yourself.
Yeah,
it's because humans are simple creatures.
And also, it's not. I'm gonna say that's an absolute, but that's not true. There's always, the one. What do you call it? The one that proves the. What's it called?
Huh? What are you getting at?
when you say that, everyone is like this, but this one person isn't that way. Well, that's just the one that proves my point. What are you saying?
Yeah, I know what you mean. I don't remember the saying, but I know what you mean.
Well, whatever. So I'm going to say that, why you then need religion is because you're not going to find a person, because the person who comes and says, God will help you, that person could have just said, I'll help you. Because they could still be as little involved as saying God will help you by just saying, go. Don't say go to our church. We will give you, a hot meal, and maybe, you could just say go to this shelter we put up. We'll give you a hot meal, or whatever you need. You know what I mean?
Yeah, sure.
But through people aren't that aren't in general good. People are selfish. People want something back. That's why I say there is no true fuck, I can't remember words today. When you're doing something good without asking something back. There's no true
unselfish act.
Yeah, what is that called?
Unselfish act is the only thing.
Okay. There's a word for it, but I don't remember. That's why they made up religion. Like, oh yes, my belief in God, makes me want to help other people. And in return, they'll give me money and their unwavering faith. Like, no!
Yeah, I know.
That's why I have such a problem with religion. Because it is ultimately just a way... organized religion. That's ultimately just a way for you to get something in return.
A selfless act. Is that the one we wanted to find?
Yes. There's a word for it.
No such thing as a truly unselfish act.
Yeah, and it's called you are a religionist.
Oh, right. That's what you're trying to get. Oh, I don't know the word for that, but yes.
Other word for selfless act. Altruism, thank you. Oh, Jesus.
That's the word I was looking for, yes.
Yeah. Altruism. There is no true altruism. Everyone wants something in return.
You know what my favorite, explanation for that is? It's from Friends. When Phoebe is doing that, she's on TV taking phone calls from people who want to donate to this cause.
Yeah.
And I don't remember who says it to her. It was like, yeah, but so how do you feel when you do this thing for someone? Because she doesn't do that thing specifically. They're talking about it in general. But how does it make you feel when you help someone? Well, it makes me feel good. Then it wasn't a selfless act. What do you mean? Because you felt good about it.
Yeah.
If you feel good, it's for yourself. Ah, shit.
Which is, and I know that,
it's a bit...
That is very simple, because it is and it isn't. I still don't think that there is something that is a truly selfless act. I don't.
No. In the end, at least you feel.
However, like I said though, there are obvious examples of truly selfless acts. I'm just saying, but in general, is what I'm trying to say.
Sure. Yes.
But that one just because she refuses people's thanks, and that's she's like, no, don't thank me. It's like, but. all you need to do is just not
Accept it.
not accept it.
Not take it to heart.
Exactly. They're allowed to tell you thank you. They're not.
You don't have to feel their thanks, so to speak.
Once
Their
again,
gratitude.
Once again, altruism being a form of being a good person. You decide for yourself. Just don't say you're an altruist. Just say that you're doing this for no apparent reason.
Exactly.
You're putting a name to it. It's religion.
Yeah.
I don't even know where we are with this, but I ultimately, what it ultimately leads to is that this is more fun to discuss like this,
yes,
than to watch as a movie.
Yes. Because, but I want to talk about some of the examples he had and some of the counter examples or counter reactions they had to his examples. Like when he pointed out the whole, there's this Egyptian god and there's that person and there's that person and they all did the same thing, and she just goes, yeah, but one of them's got a fucking bird head.
Yeah.
I found that hilarious.
But
I thought it was a really funny line, to be honest.
Sure.
Which
that's just
felt
detail,
a little bit...
though.
Yeah, I know, which is kind of weird, because that's not... As a religious person, you shouldn't consider the fact that he has a bird head to be a difference. Yeah. He's still a person, in a sense.
It was just like my petty point of nitpick about, well, why would he say that Jesus was born on December 25th? That's obviously not true. The same thing, she shouldn't get hung up on,
nitpicks as a bird head.
Yeah, exactly. And also, I am once again going back to a bit of a nitpick, but also since they did so much research, instead of bringing up Jesus figures, which there are a lot of, if you want to bring up something that is exactly the same in every religion, is the flood myth or the flood story. Yes. Every religion has a story about a flood that wipes out most of humanity. A cleansing flood, so to speak. Yeah.
Leaves the pure ones, the believers.
Yeah. Every religion has that. Because it is something that actually happens. They could incorporate that into their belief system. Well, Jesus was... there is proof Jesus existed, however...
There was a person named Jesus who existed.
Was he the Son of God or not? I don't know.
He existed in the time and place that he is described, and he had a following, I think.
Yes.
He even found out.
Those 12 disciples are real.
Yeah. But they cannot prove that he resurrected, or they can't prove that he was the Son of God, or flew up to the sky on the... I don't know, Ascension Day? Is that what it's called?
Ascension, yeah.
But, because I've always said that, or I've always believed that all religions stem from the same original story, because it is just a story in the beginning.
Yeah, that's kind of what I at first thought this was going, but then that would be it would be too technical or too not movie-ish.
Yeah,
would be that he would end up talking somehow, but also that wouldn't be scary. It would just be, it would be they would bring up Zoroastrism? What is it?
I've never thought of it as an actual thing.
Zoroastrianism.
Zoroastrianism is one of the world's oldest monolithic religions, having originated in ancient Persia.
Yeah. Which is once it's the oldest known religion that has all of them. That has the flood myth. It has the Jesus character. It has one true God and all that stuff. I thought
many scholars believe it influenced the belief system of Judaism, Christianity, and Islam. Yeah, because when we studied religion in school, looking at Judaism, Christianity, and Islam, you go, well, they are the same. Obviously, it's just different interpretations, different translations of the same original story.
Yeah.
Duh. Which is why you have the New Testament and the Old Testament.
Yeah.
And you have the same prophets. Yeah. They just choose to focus on different prophets.
Yeah.
I never heard of this, though.
You ever heard of Zoroastrianism?
No.
Okay. I don't know too much about it.
I've also never had the opportunity to study other isms, except for I guess Buddhism and Hinduism a little bit.
I've just done it for fun because I like reading things.
Hey, there are a bunch of isms that I didn't realize were isms.
Oh, sure, I don't know everything, but I knew of this.
Just searching for this, I've never heard of it before, and then you get up the suggestion of people also search for Hinduism, Shinto, Taoism, and Sikhism.
Yeah.
Those were isms. What is Taoism?
It's Tao.
The philosopher?
No. Well, Tao. You're thinking
Lao Tzu, who around 500 BCE wrote the main book of Taoism, the Tao Te Ching.
Yeah. I don't know.
With the Tao or the universe.
There's no other Tao. What did you think it was? I don't know.
No, I just never realized that I was an ism, a pure, an actual religion, I think.
I mean, lots of things can be isms. You can just add
Sure.
ism to anything, really.
Rastafari isn't an ism, but it is a religion.
Yeah, sure. But you technically could call it Rastafarism, if you will. But they they call it something else.
I just say ism because it sounds.
Yeah. I know. I mean, I could make up, I can make up ketchupism.
Yeah, that's the thing about religion as well.
It's my belief that all ketchup is really one ketchup, and I have to find the one true ketchup though. I mean, it's just an ism is no, I'm not gonna try to explain ism because I don't know exactly what it is. I'm not gonna. No. I know in broad terms what it is, but I'm not gonna pretend to be able to tell you exactly what ism means.
No. I like the idea of an ism though. Because you can make up any ism. That's why I don't think that. I guess that's why I'm not religious. Because
it was what I thought it was. An ism is a distinctive doctrine, system, or theory where you have this is the path
believe.
I'm following. That's an ism.
Yeah, this is my truth.
Okay. It was what I thought it was. I just didn't think you could explain it that easily. But okay.
We're kind of off. We're not off topic. We're kind of off the movie here.
Yeah, but that's and ultimately, like I said, this is more fun to discuss religion like this.
Yes.
Than having, because I in a way, I mean, it's more fun to do it yourself. But in a way, I could have watched a 2.5-hour movie of them sitting in his living room talking about religion.
Oh yeah.
Than him actually I can show you what true religion is, and in the end it's control. So you just wanna keep women in cages,
Yeah, that's
really.
I am curious how he got the first woman though, or is that his wife, his actual wife that he just imprisoned or something?
Once again, they gloss over that detail, even though it took them 10 years to write it.
No, but it wouldn't be. That would be a whole lot of another movie. Then it would be a prequel, basically, if you want to watch how he got the first woman.
Sure.
I mean, technically, I guess you could have it as an opening scene, but then you would ruin the as a cold open.
I like that this movie does not have a cold open. I'm so sick of cold opens.
Oh yeah,
unless it's a dumb slasher just to force in some more blood and gore. Fine, but if if you're trying to do an elevated horror movie, do not have cold opens.
No, cold opens are done and over.
Yeah, they suck and they ruin movies. But to kind of tie back to the movie and wrap it up a little bit. They chose the only true ending to this kind of story if you want it to be taken seriously, but that is, like I said before, it is also unfortunately the most boring ending. That it's, I'm not sure, somewhere in the middle. Boring. Go for it. Perfect example, The Last Exorcism, where we have have you seen it? The found footage movie?
I think so.
About a priest he's been doing exorcisms for 10, 15, 20 years or whatever.
Did we talk about it?
I think I mentioned it briefly. And he is chosen now to actually, with a full camera documentary team following him, say I am a fraud. For 20 years I've been scamming people and faking these exorcisms and hauntings and shit. So he's gonna go now and show them in his last exorcism before he like quits because he doesn't want to do this anymore. He's done with being this kind of person. Gonna show them how he does it.
Yeah.
Turns out though,
how he fakes it.
Yeah. That it isn't fake in this one, and the movie ends with the devil appearing. Like,
right.
And that, I mean, that is like, whoa! When you see it, it's like, holy shit! But that's also then not a very serious movie. It's just a fun movie.
No. Yes.
But that is a great ending. To like, oh, the devil is a liar! Anyway. So, like I said before, good movie. A bit disappointing, but I understand why they picked that ending.
Yeah. No, I think I actually would not say I was disappointed.
Okay. No, sure.
I wanted this kind of open ending. I like these kinds of open endings sometimes.
No, yeah, I love open endings, but when it comes to the specifically,
no, I like it in this kind of movie
okay.
as well, with this kind of topic. I do like it.
Okay.
Because it makes it, yeah, no, I like it. It allows for discussions, which I think if they had a devil in the end, it wouldn't have opened up for discussion.
No, and that's why I'm saying this is the only ending they could have chosen.
Yeah.
Also, just so we don't get another Snow White incident here. Do you understand what I'm trying to say?
Yes,
you don't,
I understand. 100%.
You don't agree with me, but you understand what I'm saying.
Yes,
okay, good.
100%.
And I understand exactly what you're saying.
Yes.
Because I love having these conversations.
Yeah.
I just don't want them in the movie because I've seen it 100 times in other movies.
It's been a while since I've seen one of these kinds of movies.
One of my all-time favorite movies, and they actually, yeah, I think they brought it up somewhere. Maybe I saw it in the trivia. Is Contact. What's her name? Jodie Foster movie where she's an astronomer and she's looking for signals from aliens in outer space, and she finds one, and they build a machine that's gonna take her to the aliens. And have you seen it?
No, I haven't, but I know which one it is. See, this is our companion piece then, I guess.
Okay, yes, because oh my god, because that is also, it's a very interesting, because she is 100%, she is science.
Yes.
Science is the one true religion, if you will.
Yes.
Difference is there are, you can go by facts, not faith. That's a difference. I hate when people say,
yes,
science is a religion. No, it's not. Because as soon as a scientist proves himself or themselves or is proven wrong, they say, I was wrong. And what the new fact is, they believe in that until it's proven wrong. Yeah. Which then you could say, well, nothing is certain, kind of like religion. No! Because it's not based in faith. But you know what I mean. Anyway, sorry.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Sorry.
I still have an issue with science, but yes.
Okay, we're not going to talk about it. We're not going to talk about it. I don't want to talk about that. That's a whole other discussion.
It's just because I don't understand it.
Okay.
But yes.
Okay. It's fair.
Just because I'm dumb.
That's fair. But her counterpart in the movie and her love interest is
Matthew McConaughey.
Matthew McConaughey, which long before his reconnaissance had a very complex and actually dramatically fulfilling role in that movie. People don't seem to talk about that because between that and his real reconnaissance, he made a bunch of garbage. But again, whatever.
Yeah.
He, however, is he's a priest.
Oh, okay.
He later in the movie becomes the religious advisor to the president.
Okay, but we'll save the rest of the discussion about that one.
But
then.
It's very interesting because that movie also belief and disbelief. The two extremes are very prevalent in the movie, and and they land somewhere in the middle.
They make you think.
We should do. I don't know if that's a good companion piece to this. I think a better companion piece to this would to do another movie they have. The guys, what Scott Beck and Brian Woods have made, but I'm not sure what though. Oh well, The Boogeyman. Yeah, because like I said, I heard it's actually a pretty good movie. We could do that.
Well, you know what? We'll decide on that off screen, off radio, offline.
Sure.
And if you want to find out which one we end up talking about, you'll have to check out the Patreon, or I guess the members only videos on YouTube.
Yes, because we now since this
As
week,
of.
as of this week, or last week, whatever you want to call it, all the Patreon episodes are now available on YouTube as members-only episodes. I think they still cost like $3 because it's the lowest tier is $3, I think. And there's really no point to get into the higher tiers because you don't get anything extra really, unless we start doing live streams, because I probably put them on the middle tier then. But I haven't planned that yet. So far, it's just putting the Patreon episodes out on YouTube as well.
Yes.
For members.
Yes.
So if you don't want to be a patron, check us out. Check out the YouTube membership stuff, and you see if we talk about the Boogeyman or Contact.
Yeah.
Other than that, though, thank you so much.
My cat has opened my closet, so I am gonna say goodbye.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, thank you so much for listening or watching this on YouTube, wherever you're listening to this. We're available on all platforms. Like, subscribe, comment. Have you seen the movie? Do you want to have a discussion about religion? Do that in the comments below on YouTube.
And be respectful, though, of course.
Yeah, sure. And we'll see you next week. But until then, have a good one.
Bye.
The Spoiler Cast is part of Please Don't Make a Scene. It's produced and hosted by Tobias Vedén. Co-host is Rebecca Vedén. Executive producer is Annika Vedén. I also want to give a shout out to all our patrons over at patreon.com/don'tmakeascene. CK85, Kristoffer Bylén, Daniel Gaiso, Annika Vedén, Jacob, Mom and Mac, and Laura Kidd.